Hello there, beautiful teachers. Today I want to talk to you about this fantastic collection from Chee-Hwa. It's fairly new, and these are flexible instrumentation chamber music ensembles. So these are published under Dayoung Sampan Music, which is Chee-Hwa-tan's own website, so you can check them out there, or of course Google for them. They're from A Child's Garden of Verses suite, and they're really fantastic and unusual. I haven't seen at this level a lot of chamber music ensembles that can be used in this way. So I picked these up at the MTNA conference in Atlanta after speaking to Chee-Hwa about them and how excited she was. I wanted to go look at them. They had them at the Piano Safari stall, even though they're not actually published under Piano Safari. They were just lending her some space there. They're really unusual. I think there's a lot of different ways that we can use these in our studios. So let me show you a little bit of what they look like. So inside the front cover, you have the verse, which is shown there. So this one is Pirate Story. Where shall we adventure today that we're afloat? Wary of the weather and steering by a star. Shall it be to Africa, a steering of the boat, to Providence or Babylon, or off to Malabar? Lovely to read those to your students as you start to work on these pieces. Then inside we have all these separate sheets, and then we have the main booklet. So the main booklet looks like this, and it has the piano part in very nice large notation, which I love, because some students just really get intimidated by notation that is small, even if the content is easy. And that's pretty common when we have ensembles, that the notation just naturally gets smaller. But she's made the piano part really large here, and then shown on slightly smaller staves, we've got the different parts. So it says at the top violin, viola option, and flute option for part number 1. And that's the part that you definitely need to include by her instructions. So at the top she says pair staff 1 with any combination of the other staffs. So I'd say you want that, that's the melody, and then the others are accompaniments that you can add or substitute as you wish. So that's the piano part is shown there and the smaller staves. And then you've got the sheets here for each of the different instruments. So you've got violin, staff 1, you've got violin, staff 2. If I can turn the pages, you've got viola, staff 1, viola, staff 2, cello, staff 3, and flute, staff 1. So you have a lot of different options, and I would say you could adapt to other things there. Now, I am definitely keeping these on hand for if it comes up that I have a student and they mention, oh, my brother plays flute, or my sister plays the cello, or something like that, or their friend, or whoever, someone in their family, their mum, their aunt, anyone. You could bring those out and lend them to your student, or recommend they go get them, so that they have an option that's really at a very accessible level to play with whoever they have available to play with. So that's one option. I'm actually going to use them as well in my lessons. So when I have groups of students together in my buddy lessons, I have 2 or 3 students for part of their lesson coming together, and we're going to do that together, and we're going to use it to learn about different instruments. So I know this isn't the same as playing with actual other instruments, but we're definitely going to play around with the different sounds on the piano. So for example, I'm looking at My Shadow, which is another one of these sets right now, and I'm going to choose on my piano. I'm going to go to sound, so I have this touch screen at the side of my piano, but many electric instruments, if you have some kind of keyboard in your studio, even if it's not amazing quality, you can try this. So I actually have dual, so I would often do that with 2 students, have one do the piano and one do the other instrument, but for now I'll just show you the whole thing. So if I scroll down to strings, and I'm going to go across to what on my piano is called chamber strings. Then the student can play it as if they're the violin, right? You can have the other student playing the piano part, or you can have one down here being the viola, right? So you can start to combine them in different ways. So that's just one way you might like to use these, but I think there's so much scope for these, and I think there's a big hole in the literature for pieces like this that can be flexible, and we don't have to do any rearranging ourselves necessarily, as we often end up doing for things like this. I would love to hear how you would use these pieces, and I hope you'll check them out on Chee-Hwa Tan's website. You can Google Dayoung Sampan music, or you can check out the link which is in the description below. But let me know how you might use these in your studio. I'd love to hear.